question is, are you a lead follow-up fanatic? And that's one of the messages I want you to have for 2009, that we need to become fanatical about lead follow-up. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, what does fanaticism mean? Look up fanatic in the dictionary and you're going to get a pretty good idea, of the obsessive nature that a fanatic would have about whatever they're fanatical about. I need you guys and gals to be obsessive in your nature or your mindset toward lead follow-up. I need you to be obsessive, towards several things in the business. I want you to be obsessive about your prospecting. I want you to be obsessive about pre-qualifying. I want you to be obsessive about setting appointments, but more than anything, I want you to become fanatical about lead follow-up. Now, so, obsessive. Obsessive means you think about it all the time. It's the number one priority in your day. It's the first and last thought as it relates to your business. You could be, fanatical about spirituality. You can be fanatical about health and fitness. You can be fanatical about a relationship that you're involved in. There's a whole lot of things people are fanatical about, but the one trait that fanaticism carries is an obsessive thought process toward a particular thing. And I want you to be obsessive over your lead follow-up. Now, I'm not sure if I've made that clear enough yet, but that's a mindset. That's not a lead follow-up system. It's a mindset that I'm going to be hunting for leads. It's a mindset that I'm going to follow up, like a dog with a bone when I get a lead. It's a mindset that nobody is going to slip through the cracks when they end up on my radar. It's a mindset that I'm going to do whatever it takes to be there when they're ready. It's a mindset that I'm going to have a level of intensity when I call. Lead follow-up is the most important aspect of my business. Even the days I don't prospect, I need to follow up with my leads. I really need to become fanatical about making sure my leads don't slip through the cracks. Can you imagine if that was your mindset? How about becoming fanatical about making sure you make contacts with your leads? Not leaving them a message, not sending them an email, not thinking that it was okay. You tried to get in touch with them today, but they weren't there, so okay. No, fanatical about making sure when it's time to follow up with somebody, you make a contact. And because you're fanatical about contacts, you're fanatical about getting their cell phone numbers, so that you're fanatical about getting their contact information. And so now as you're talking to people, you're generating leads, you make sure you've got their contact information. You don't hang up without a cell phone number because you're fanatical about making sure you contact them the day that you're supposed to call them back next. You're contacting them in the morning, you're contacting them in the afternoon, you're contacting them in the evening, you're contacting them Saturday. You're doing whatever it takes to make a contact, whether it's trying them 3 or 4 times a day, making sure that you have 3 or 4 different phone numbers. You're trying all the phone numbers because you're fanatical about making sure that lead doesn't slip through the cracks. Now, by now, you should be thinking, I'm not fanatical about lead follow-up just yet. And the key words there are just yet. That's really what we want you to do, is become fanatics in the area of lead follow-up. Too often you've got too easygoing of an approach towards your business. You're too easy on yourself, too easy on your business. You're too easy with your customers. You're just getting ready to get going to maybe have a different level of intensity. Some of you might recall from this morning's interview with Chad Perkins, this guy at 24 years old is closing over 200 transactions a year because he's fanatical about everything. He has a level of intensity. There was an intensity level about everything that he did, whether it was prospecting, managing in his schedule, or following up with his leads. We need to have that level of intensity. Here's another area the intensity shows up in lead follow-up. We have to have intensity in our tonality when we're following up with leads. Fanaticism isn't, well, are you ready yet? Are we okay? Are you good to go? Do you want to get together? Have you thought about it? You need some more time? No problem. No, intensity is delivering the message with a level of authority. It's like, I am in charge. I know exactly what needs to be done. You need to be following my lead. It's part of why I get paid for the job of selling homes. No, now is the time we need to get together. There are buyers in the market as we speak by the hundreds. Rates are lower than they've ever been. The activity level is up. We need to get your home on the market, get it listed, get it sold, and go ahead and schedule a closing for the next 2 or 3 months. Not wait another 2 or 3 months before we list the home. We need to take advantage of the market conditions. There's an intensity and authority that says, no, this is what we need to do. There's an enthusiasm. There's an enthusiasm about the market. You're not so focused on, necessarily your bank account as you're focused on the opportunity to get a good listing and get it sold. Listen, Mr. and Mrs. Sell, there are plenty of buyers in the market that are looking for homes. There's a lot more inventory than ever before. We've got more competition than we've had in the past, but our marketing plan is designed to get homes like yours sold in this type of market. Now, what we need to do is we need to get together so I can show you what it's going to take to actually get the home listed, sell the property, and schedule a closing for the next couple of months. So there's a level of enthusiasm, there's a level of conviction in your voice. You sound like you believe it, what it is that you're asking them to do. There's obviously a sense of compassion because it's really at the end of the day all about them. Fanaticism is having a level of intensity. So fanaticism, well, fanatical about your leads, fanatical about the follow-up system, fanatical about making contacts, fanatical about the message and the dialogue or the tonality that you have on the phone. How about fanatical about appointments? If you're going to be fanatical about lead follow-up, you have to understand the only purpose of lead follow-up is to set an appointment. So it's not touching base, it's setting an appointment. I want to meet with you. I want to talk to you. This is all about an appointment right now. And the worst thing that happens when you get obsessive or compulsive or fanatical or intense about setting appointments is they tell you why they can't set an appointment right now. They requalify themselves. It's the worst thing that happens. Listen, John, I wanted to get together this week and talk to you about your options. We'll cover what's going on in the market. We'll talk about your options. We'll see what works best for you. Would Wednesday work or would Thursday be better? We're trying to set an appointment. Oh, no, we can't do anything this week. Oh, you can't do anything this week? Well, tell me what you're thinking because I want to get this home on the market and get it sold. Why can't we meet this week? The worst thing that happens because I'm fanatical about getting appointments is they just help me requalify and overqualify again what they're thinking, what their time frame is, what they're trying to accomplish. Listen, we need to be closers. We need to set appointments. We need to get fanatical, which means we need to have a level of intensity. That intensity is a function of just really setting your mind on the fact that the lead follow-up process, and the message you give while you're following up with people that you are fanatical about making a contact with is the most important element of most of your businesses, and there's really no reason to wait. So today's message is not so much as it is a teaching as it was a 10-minute shot in the arm about what it takes to become a lead follow-up fanatic, or more importantly, what it means to be a fanatic when it comes to lead follow-up. If you don't listen to anything else we've talked about, if you don't, really pay much attention to the majority of our teaching, but you'll walk away from this call and you'll make a commitment to be a fanatic when it comes to following up effectively with your leads. You are going to make a lot more money, not only right now, but for the rest of your career. So take this message to heart. It's not the quantity of the message as much as it was the quality. You've got 10 minutes. Make it work. Make money. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.